Prince Harry has been royally snubbed. The Prince made the long-awaited trip back to the UK to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the Invictus Games, but the reception from his family was icy, to say the least. Sky News All-Stars Esther Krakue, Nigel Farage and Russell Myers peel back the curtain and delve into what's really going on behind the scenes in the royal family. All eyes in the UK were on Prince Harry this week as he jetted into London to celebrate a significant milestone for the Invictus Games. And whilst the English public couldn't wait to get a glimpse of Harry, his own family couldn't come up with enough excuses to get away from the black sheep, says Sky News All-Stars Nigel Farage and Paul Murray.
Last one here. So, Prince William and the King, we know there was the attempt, Prince Harry and the King. Prince Harry, of course, did meet with him in and around the most nervous times around his cancer, but now they're within miles of each other, close kilometres, but they ain't meeting up anytime soon.
No, that's right. Prince Harry's at St Paul's Cathedral today. It's 10 years of the Invictus Games. And the King is opening up Buckingham Palace to thousands of people this afternoon who'll be going to one of the royal garden parties, which I've got to tell you are wonderful afternoons. And the King can't meet his son because he's got scheduling issues. Well, I tell you what, that's the King putting down the firmest public marker we've yet seen. You are not welcome, you treacherous little brat.
Well said. The garden party, of course, does not go for 24 hours. There are 24 hours in the day. There is a window if they want, but quite correctly, the dad just goes, you know what? No, because I know what you're going to do with this information. I know what you're going to do with, is he healthy? Is he baggy eyes? All the rest of it, right? We all know what he'll do. Thank you so much, Nigel. I love your show on GB News. People in Australia can see it on Flash or, of course, YouTube, podcast, all the rest of it. But you versus George, the O2 Arena even. I'm building the crowds. They're gathering as we speak. Money to charity, of course.
Daily Mirror royal editor Russell Myers also revealed that Prince Harry was making plans to see the King, but those feelings weren't reciprocated.
Welcome back. Well, Prince Harry is in London, but there are reports the King is refusing to meet with his own son. Let's bring you now Daily Mirror royal editor Russell Myers. Russell, surely the King can find time for a cup of tea or a cucumber sandwich with Harry or whatever it is the royals eat?
Well, good evening, Sherry. Well, you might well say that, and I think that's the question on everybody's lips, because the fact that the King hasn't got time to see his own son when he was just 3 miles away from him yesterday speaks volumes, I think. And certainly people on Harry's side at the weekend were telling me that he was making plans to see the King. So whether something has happened in the sort of intervening time, whether words have been exchanged, we don't know, but it's certainly a strange series of affairs over the last few days.
Myers also adds that the stories coming out of Prince Harry's camp are very different from what the media is hearing from the royals.
Well, certainly the mood music from Buckingham Palace has been quite different from Harry's side. For Harry's part, he was saying that, making time to see his father. He wanted to come over to the UK, not only to celebrate the Invictus Games, but to try and see his dad, who's been suffering from cancer. And it's been a pretty tumultuous time for the royal family. And one may wonder why the King has got too much in his diary to just see his son. They only managed 30 minutes back in February. And the fact that he can't even spare a few minutes to see him, I think speaks volumes at this time.
Sky News All-Star Sophie Ellsworth believes King Charles is well within his rights to snub his son, saying what goes around comes around after he trashed the royal family.
Prince Harry's media spokesman, been very busy, Sophie. He's put out a public statement, has announced that Prince Harry, who's in London on business this week, the Invictus Games, is not going to be meeting his father there, the King. It's just, 3 kilometres away from where he's staying. This, unfortunately, he says, will not be possible due to His Majesty's full programme. The Duke is, of course, understanding of his father's diary of commitments and various other priorities and hopes to see him soon. Did this refusal to meet his son need this announcement from the son? It's embarrassing for Harry, but I just wonder what's going on here.
Well, the speculation, Andrew, will just continue until the public know. And look, I would say about this, it's pretty embarrassing, as you said, for Prince Harry. He's treated his family, I would argue, incredibly poorly. And what comes around goes around. When you throw your whole family under the bus, he's trashed the royal family, he's made money out of this. Now he's arrived in the UK, minus his wife, minus his children. He's not going to see his father or his brother or Princess Catherine. I mean, this is how bad things have got. This is the biggest falling out of such a high-profile family on the global scale. They can't even stand each other in a room for a few minutes. I mean, this is pretty serious, particularly given King Charles has had that battle with cancer, Andrew.
And it's hard to believe that Prince Harry's relationship with his brother is even worse than his relationship with his father, reveals Sky News All-Star Esther Kraku.
Joining me now is writer and broadcaster Esther Kraku. Esther, with Harry's imminent visit to the UK, speculation continues about his relationship with his family, who he will see, who he won't see while he's there. Where does all that stand at the moment?
So we know that Prince Harry is due to meet up with King Charles. Their relationship has somewhat thawed, particularly after the revelation that his father, the King, has cancer. There are reports that Prince Harry has no plans of seeing Prince William, and I think that the feeling is mutual. I suspect actually Prince Harry might have extended an olive branch, but you know, Prince William and his family are just not interested at all. Clearly the trust has been broken.
And despite Prince Harry's relationship with his immediate family looking to be beyond repair, he can take solace in the support shown from his mother's side of the family, who were by his side at the ceremony.
To help servicemen and women overcome their mental and physical traumas. Inside to support him were members of his mother's family, so his aunt, Lady Jane Fellows, and his uncle, Earl Spencer. And during the service, Prince Harry gave a reading. The sermon was all about the power of rebuilding, and also prayers were said for the next Invictus.
And he was also welcomed back to the UK by his legion of loyal fans, who lined the streets to get a photo.
You were.
But Sky News All-Star Rita Panahi says the British public are very much against the wayward prince.
I think it's the King who's rejecting this meeting. That's certainly what the Sussex PR machine put out. They're the ones who let the world know that a meeting wasn't going to happen. They put out a statement saying that the King was too busy, and the Duke understands that his father's diary is full. But what's been interesting there, that Jacqueline Magnay reports in The Australian, that as soon as that statement was released, it was counterproductive for Prince Harry, because the talkback lines and readers' comments on newspapers were all full of support for Charles distancing himself from Prince Harry. So it shows you that not only is the King reluctant to forgive Harry, but the British public are in no mood to forgive him either.
Notably absent from Prince Harry's UK trip was his wife Meghan Markle and children, who opted to stay home in California, says Esther Kraku.
To Nigeria. So there are many questions around the logistics of this and the reasons behind it. But I personally suspect that one, Harry knows that he's not welcome in the Wales' home for obvious reasons. Kate doesn't need that kind of stress when she's undergoing cancer treatment. And I also think that Meghan actually is probably using Archie's birthday as a decent excuse to just stay away. I don't know if it's necessarily she fears for her safety, but I just don't think she's very comfortable coming to the UK, and I don't think the British public are particularly fussed about that either.
And Meghan Markle opting to stay home may be a good idea, with recent polls indicating support for Markle in the UK has hit rock bottom.
What do you make of Meghan not flying over to the UK?
Look, the loathing for Meghan in the UK is palpable. I was over there last year and everybody I spoke to was, they just cannot tolerate her. Even, you know, journalists, friends, everyone to people on the street. There is no love for her. I don't know how you win that PR exercise. As you know, she's hired a new PR guru on behalf of a jam, but she actually needs it on as part of her persona. And newspapers have been speculating on what the PR message should be for Meghan, one of which was, I amusingly noted, was be less American.
Yeah, or be less like Meghan. Yeah. That's a hard thing. You're meant to be authentic and be yourself, but I think what people see right through her is that she's not being authentic and she's not being herself. So she can hire a PR person maybe for her jam or, you know, for her. But how do you win people over when you've, you know, flown over to America and you've just made money off rubbishing the royal family?
Absolutely, I so agree with you on that you can't be part of it and then diss it, which she's done as comprehensively as she has, even to mocking how to curtsy. You know, that's not how you behave. You join this family, learn about it, understand it, and if you don't like it, at least from a distance, respect it.
Playing the victim, I just think, really did not go down well. And if you just look around the world, see what a privileged position that she's in, it's just hard.